Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of July 1st. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today is Thursday, which means it's time to give in to our obsessing about parenting details, big and small. And it's also the 4th of July, and it's also going to be my 25th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
So
Happy anniversary.
There's some big celebrations happening and picnics and events, but not really kind of always because, things change over time.
Yeah.
What we used to do may not be what we do now, and I know that's one of my big concerns because you know me, I like that Norman Rockwell image.
That's right.
So,
yeah,
Terry.
My husband and I have been giving 4th of July parties since actually pretty much before we got married, because we were married on July 7th and we had bought a house. So we had everybody over to our house, I think probably on the 4th of July. That year. And then, since we've gotten the kids and everything, every year we always have this same group of friends over for the 4th of July, and it's even to the point where people just kind of know it's happening. And I do send out invitations, but it's sort of an expected thing. And this year I realized that everybody in my house but me was going to be working on the 4th of July. It's a Thursday.
Oh.
And, come to think of it, I had a work deadline that day too, a freelance deadline. So we decided not to do it. It's not the first time we haven't done it. There's been a couple of times over the years that somebody was sick or something like that. So we had to cancel it. But mostly for the past, 29 years, we've been having this party. So this feels like another end of the era thing.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't want to tell people to take the day off. My kids especially, they need their hours. They need to get as much work as they can. I want them to be the people that their bosses say, do you mind working on the holiday? And they say, oh no, I'll be happy to take that time. So that's good. And my husband doesn't like to ask for days off. So I'm happy that we're all working, but it is a change in tradition and, a little sad in that. But also a little good in other things because instead of spending large amounts of money on a party,
right.
We'll be getting money in. That works okay.
Yeah, we also you don't have a 29-year-long tradition, but where we live is right across the street from the park where our town observes the 4th of July with an all-day event, food vendors and performances and activities all day long, and then fireworks in the evening. So we've almost always had people over on the 4th, pre-fireworks cookout kind of thing. But this year, my daughter is away and will be getting home at 4 a.m. on the 4th. And she even said, but it's my favorite holiday. I can't believe it, which
Aww.
I was surprised to learn was her favorite holiday, but okay. So yeah, I feel bad that we haven't really planned anything because we've all been traveling and doing things and it just hasn't happened to plan it for this year.
Right.
Especially with her being gone. So, but yeah, I do feel kind of bad that it's something she enjoys so much and we're not, and I enjoy it too. And we're not doing it.
It's also the awkwardness of how do you announce that you're not having a party? Because I felt like I needed to let people know because it's always just sort of been a standing invitation and everybody just, but at the same, so I don't want it to be like, well, you expected we were going to come over and you have to tell us not to. But I think they might have expected to come over and I have to tell them not to. It feels so awkward. But there should be some infrastructure for that.
Right.
I know. I was having coffee with a friend last night and we were talking about how Thanksgiving is going to change for her family this year because her daughter is going to be a cheerleader at Northeastern university, and so they have some big games that week, and then, or maybe it's more like, well, she's busy with cheerleading, and then she's got just school and finals and stuff, and so they were saying that rather than her coming home from Chicago, they're going to probably fly up there and have Thanksgiving up there, because it's just easier than her, a lot less stress on her coming home. So and she said, I'm okay with that because I'm actually getting tired of cooking dinner. She said, maybe we'll move Christmas up there as well. So, yeah, and I kind of feel like we've never had any set really traditions. And that's something that I've often talked about because I've always wanted that. But, yeah, so July 4th is, I don't even know. Well, it's our anniversary, so it kind of overshadows July 4th. And it's not really, it hasn't been a part of our upbringing either, because we have done Canada Day. So,
yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for just having some flexibility with your traditions and your observations of various events.
I mean, I guess I try and make small little traditions. Like, it's not an actual big event. We try and do small things, but yeah, it's definitely a struggle.
Yeah, Thanksgiving and Christmas when I was growing up were always a big deal. We had some cousins who lived nearby, but we only really saw them on holidays. We saw them on Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So each of those occasions were big deals, especially Thanksgiving, but also Christmas. We went to their house on Christmas Eve, and they came to our house on Christmas Day. So this is what I was used to. And then for a while, my husband's relatives all lived in town. His parents were alive. So we would do that same sort of thing. Everybody would come to our house, or we would go to, his brother and sister-in-law's house. And then his parents passed away, and his brother and his brother's family moved to the next state over, and there just really nobody wanted to be driving to the other person's house 4 hours to get together for the holiday. So we would, meet at a restaurant or something, which is sort of less special. And then, we just sort of, a couple of years, we just sort of decided to have one time in between Christmas and Thanksgiving, we'd get together. So then we had Thanksgiving and Christmas by ourselves. And, it seemed like, oh, this is going to be nice. Low key. We'll just get Boston Market. It'll be great. But it's really anticlimactic, to just sit together, the four of you on Thanksgiving Day. There's not enough people here. Oh, and Christmas is just not real Christmassy when it's just nobody's coming over besides your immediate family.
Well, see, and once again, there's that lack of, society kind of, because that's what I've dealt with all my life, is that we've had a small family and it's just been us. And how do we take this event, which is supposed to be all full of people and celebration and happy and good times, and there's just the four of us?
Yeah.
There's no kind of social construct for being okay with that.
Yeah. I know my other sister-in-law sometimes works like a soup kitchen on those days. So that's like becoming her tradition, which is very nice to go do something charitable but it's not practical for our whole family to go do that. I don't think. Maybe we could, but I don't think we have an opportunity to.
And your
really.
son's already working at a food pantry.
That's
all the
right.
time.
Yes, he does. He volunteers there all during the week, and I don't think they're open on those holidays. So we should come up with some good tradition, like going to the movies. But my kids aren't interested in movies, so I don't know what we could do. If the bowling alleys are open on Christmas, we could probably go bowling. But that would feel weird. But things change. Nothing you can do about it. There should be some sort of, internet. This is my answer to everything. There should be some sort of internet clearinghouse where if your family is going to feel lonely on the holidays, you could post. And then if another family is feeling lonely on the holidays, you could get together.
It's kind of like the Tinder app for celebrations.
Exactly. Swipe right if you like turkey.
Swipe right if you like that family. Swipe right if you don't.
That's right. You'd make your pitch. You'd have a picture of your family. You pitch your recipes that you like to make. Yeah. I make a great pumpkin pie, and our house is big enough. We have a big table, or we'll come to you. Oh dear, that's exactly what's needed for all us lonely families in this isolating age.
It totally is. Even in this community here, and I've griped about this for years. it's so hard to meet other families in this community because this community relies heavily on its churches to form the social groups. And there are a lot of international families here because of a company that my husband also works for. And so there's a lot of us that are just kind of hanging around. We don't really belong to a church because, you know, we've come from different backgrounds and cultures, and there's a lot of religious diversity. There's just a lot of us hanging around on these days. It's like no connection, and we could be getting together with other people and doing something fun. And you know, unless you meet by chance or your husbands work together or your wives work together or whatever. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. And that's something that there used to be an app.
This has been another episode of Parenting Roundabout brings you what the internet needs. Or there should be an app for that.
Yes.
But there is a podcast for this discussion, and it is now over. And that's it for today's Round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our Roundabout Roundup of things we've been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout-out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.